Hello developers, welcome back to AWS DevOps Locust Tech YouTube channel. So previous class we have discussed about you know scope, right? So in scope we have discussed about built-in space, global namespace and local namespace related to functions, right? What function, what module, what namespace, right? And next So now we will discuss about yeah input and output. Okay, and after finishing it, let's discuss about interview questions and answers related to scope, input and output. These two related examples along with all interview questions and answers. So then it is easy for you guys. Okay, so let me try to delete this. Okay, yeah. So we have seen scope related. So global scope we have seen, right? And the local scope we have seen, and built-in space, what is that, and everything we have seen, right? So now we are going to discuss about input and output. Okay, let's discuss. Let's get started. So yeah. So this is abbreviation, but before look into this abbreviation, let's talk about input and output related to in general terms. Okay. Okay. What is input? What is output? For example, we have a system. Okay. We have a system and also keyboard, right? And also we do have a mouse, right? So for example, if you want to give any anything to any information to your computer, okay, so if you want to talk to your computer you should give some input using mouse and keypad, sorry, keypad, right? So by using keypad we will type something and we will store somewhere in the system. Where it will store? It will store in your hard disk somewhere. So processor will understand using keypad and using mouse they are trying to give something to me, right? So here is input is keypad and mouse. Okay, whenever you give something, whatever you have given, that you can able to display on top of your system, right? So display in the sense whatever maybe processor will respond back and it will give output. So whatever that you can see in on top of monitor, right? So that is called as output. Okay, so if you are giving something you are getting something, right? So you are giving something in the sense it is input, you are getting in the sense output, response is back, getting back from the processor, right? So that is what about input and output. Okay, for suppose again other general example. mm, yes, switch is there in your home. Switches are there, right? Switch 1, switch 2, switch 3 and sockets, correct? Like this. So fan will be there. So somewhere you have connected with this bulb, right? Some bulb or with the fan. fan something. Okay, if you think this is a fan, it is fine. Okay, so you might turn on switch. Okay, whenever you turn on switch, you are giving input to this fan. So what you will get? You will get output is air, right? So whenever turn on switch, light switch here, so your power will pass through this cable, and then that whatever you input, the power is input, right? So it will get to this light. So then light will glow. You will get light is output. So here is input is power, the output result is here light and air, something like this. In general, so we can compare with this kind of things, right? So same way, in the Python also we have a concept called input and output. Okay, with the print function. Okay, we can display output in the various formats. Okay, while the input function enables interaction with users by gathering input during program execution. While programming execution, okay, the input function enable interaction with the users by gathering input during program execution. What it will do, input will interact with the developers or users. It will gather input from the users, then it will give output as using print we will get output. Okay, correct. So in this, so input is, we have to write input like this. Okay, and print whatever you mentioned, using print only. By using print you'll mention something like this, welcome, like this, right? Huh? This is for print output. To to get the output, to display output, we'll use print. And input, in this input, using input, for example input, um, cash, or suppose enter cash, you can mention like this. If you mention like this input, whenever executing the program, it will it will display like enter cash. So then you will give the some variable like 2000 rupees, so you will get output something like this. Okay, this is how it will process input. So input will through processor, it will do process. After that you will get response back using output. So this is in general, we can compare like this. Input is giving information, output is getting information from the processor, like this. Okay, so next we are going to take example of ATM. ATM, we will take example as ATM. So for example, card is there, right? So your ATM card will be there. I'll keep ATM card here. So then what will happen? So it will do process, and whatever pin you give, so that pin it will take, and you will get cash back, right? So it is input. Input is you are keeping card, and you are giving input as pin. Output you are getting cash. Correct. This is general example for to understand what is input and output terms. I'm just showing all these examples. Okay. All right. So you can write, you can read out all these points. With the print function we can display output in various formats. With the print function we can display output in various format. Simple. With the print function you can display output, just keep in mind. All right. While the input function enables interaction with the users by gathering input during program execution. Okay. While input function enables interaction with the users by gathering input during the program execution. So users will be there. User in the sense I only user here. I will give some information. Okay. To this input function, using input function I'll give some information, 2000 rupees. Already previous I have already some 50,000 rupees. So you are going to subtract in the sense you by taking information 2000 rupees, from 2000 rupees it will minus, and 38,000 you will get back, it will be reduced, right? So in the sense using input function, so what it will do is input will always try to gather information from the users. Okay, based upon that user only it will give the result. Okay, this function allows us to display the text, variables and expressions on the console. This function allow us to display the text, variables, expressions on the console. Yes, right. So next, basic uses of the print function. Print hello world generally will print like this, correct? So output will be hello world like this. So here this is input we given, output is got like this. All right. So see here, you see here example I'm just showing here, enter your name, this is input it is taking, right? Suresh, you entered. Okay, based upon you entered, you as a user you entered something name, it is asking, this is input. Using input, using input is showing that okay, whatever the statement, whatever we have given in the input function, that is actually giving, it is asking what is your name. Input we are giving Suresh, output is giving name is Suresh, something like this. Okay. So we are going to take an example of ATM for input and output functions. Input provide the PIN number, amount, okay. Output take cash, okay. Thank you for using the ATM services and all. We are going to use it as an example, okay. And other example is, for example, single variables s equal to Bob, okay, and next s equal to Alice, age equal to 25, and city equal to New York. Okay, this is actually variables, multiple variables, variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. Okay, this is single variable. Okay, this is multi-variable, right? So here I would like to print yes, comma, yes means what it is there inside us, okay, and age, comma, city. Okay, if I print like this, whatever it is stored in s, whatever it is stored in age, whatever it is stored in city, these variable result will be, the variable values will be displayed after print. So which means Alice, the output would be Alice 25 New York. the result would be like this. I'll show you. See this? Bob, Alice. Yeah, S is also is there, right? Okay, like this. Okay, so here for this it will be result. For this, if you want to print only here, yes, in the sense Bob will get like this. Okay, so what is output? Okay, so output. So first of all, before discussing about this input, first of all we will see about how output is working. Okay, so if you can understand about output, you can understand about input. Okay, let's discuss about how output is working. Okay, how the interpreter is taking, how our interpreter is responding for output. Let's discuss about output first. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take an example. Okay, so see here, first one, if you can see and if you try to understand. So print to take your cash. What the result would be? Yes, this is only. The result would be take your cash 1000. This will print only. This is single variable. It is directly printing this. Okay. So the whatever it is there inside of the print. So this statement will, this one will be printed, right? So this is single only. Okay. And if I would like to keep a variable inside in variable, so here I am taking cash is 1000 and remaining amount 40,000, and print to take your cash remaining amount, all these things. Okay, so I will clearly explain one by one. Okay, okay, so we'll do one thing. So first cash equal to 1000, which means 1000 rupees are there in this variable. What is a variable name? Cash is actually variable name. Okay, here remaining amount 40,000 is there. Okay, so these two variables, this is variable 1, this is variable 2. Now I would like to print take your cash. Okay, this will print automatically the name. It's a kind of just a string value. It will print as usual like take your cash, and the whatever the cash value is there in variable, this one, and remaining amount, these two variables will be printed. Multiple values mentioned here for print, right? 1 2, more than above, in the sense multiple values, correct? And here, so yeah, let's till here we'll try to print. Okay, okay, so let us copy and we'll try to paste okay, let's or well, yeah, let me take VS Code to avoid time waste. I don't want to waste time, that's why I'm taking here. Yeah, so here I just would like to take print. Okay, I'll write here this, paste here. Okay, see here, if you can understand, cash is I mentioned 1000 rupees. Maintaining, so sorry, remaining amount is 40,000. I just would like to print this. What will happen? See this? 60 is error, correct? So let's try to fix it. Okay. Okay, see here, you got it, right? I just would like to print here unexpected, one sec. Okay, I think it's missed. Okay, now it will print. Okay, so let's see, run the program. Invalid syntax, you forgot comma. Oh, again. Okay, so you see this again, see. See here, this is a very big fault. See here, cache C is capital and C is small, so it will not take like this. Should follow case sensitive, right? Now again spelling mistake. Mistakes are important, guys. If you do mistakes, you can understand what is happening. Okay, so let's run this. So take your cache 1000 and 40,000. How? Why? Because here cash, in cash variable I mentioned 1000 rupees. Is it correct? Yes. Remaining amount 40,000 I mentioned. In remaining amount it is actually variable. In this variable I mentioned 40,000. Is it correct? Yes. So I'm trying to print. This is actually string that I want to display in the output. Okay. So in this print, what I'm printing, I mentioned here and this one. So this variable and this variable. So what the output will get? Take your cache. This value is 1000 and this value will be 40,000. Okay. This will be display like this. Okay. Yeah. Next. Here, next one. So yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. So here what happened in the in this, so whenever I mentioned here cash remaining amount in between comma separated comma I mentioned, by default what happened, it is taken here, space has taken. You see here space, I did not mention space. Okay, so I will do one thing, so I will remove this space, also I will remove this space, also I remove this space. Okay, also I remove this space. Let me try to save this and try to run. Can you see this? I did not mention any space in between these two, right? Here we got space, here we got a space in between cash and remaining amount. In between 1000 and 4000, these two variables, we got default space, correct? How we got this space? Because this is default. Okay, default space will be get. Okay, we'll be getting, right? All right. So what I would like to do is, instead of space I would like to change uh, other symbol I will keep. Okay, I will do one thing. So yeah, I will try to take this. Yes, let me try to keep here. I think this will not work. Yeah, it will work. Take your cash. Okay, so this cash is not correct, right? C should be capital, and remaining amount, let's see, remaining amount, I would like to make a comma for separation. Cache, I should remove this. Okay, let me do this. Okay, here SCP means separation. Okay, Between cash and remaining amount, the display of output would be 1000 and 40,000. In between we got actually default space. I would like to replace with a different symbol. For example, I just would like to keep this one. Okay, with this I just want to print it out. Let's run. You see this? Between cash and remaining amount, you see this? It got separated with these two numbers, two variables. Output got this one symbol. By default, what we have got? We got space. Okay, space is default. Well, default we got. Interpreter will give default space. Correct. So what we have to do is, if you want to replace with the space, you just need to mention separation, SCP. SCP equal to, in between two inverted commas, you just mention whatever it is. I just would like to mention at the rate for suppose. Okay, you just run it. It will be replaced with the at the rate. Cash at the rate 1000, at the rate 40,000 we got. You understood? So output we can able to do like this. Okay. All right. Okay. Next, I want to mention here like this. Okay. You see this? It looks good. Anyways, that's fine. And next, so what you understood? By using this separation, you can keep whatever symbol you want in place of space. Okay. So you understood, right? Here in between output values, space will be separated by so and so. So whatever the symbol you want, you can keep it. Okay. All right. Next. So I just would like to print all these things. Print. Thank you for using our bank service. Okay. Okay. So I just would like to print these two also. Let me try to use this. Okay. See, print. Thank you for using banking service. I think it's wrong. Inverted commas are not valid. Okay, you have to use like this. So these inverted is are not valid. Must use. Okay, this should be good. Okay, so this is actually string value. It will be display. So I just would like to run this. See this? Take your cash. Okay, this is actually normal print. So whenever it is a default, normally if you mention some variables here, default you got space, but with the by replacing the symbol, so you got this one, right? We replaced with it, correct? So then we got this answer, I mean this output. So after that we are printing thank you for using banking service like this. And also I just would like to print thank you Lokesh for good teaching. Okay, I just printed like this, right? Okay, so next, so if you see here, you can understand that separation. See this? These are all are optional. Okay, this is separation. I will try to tell you. So print values, separation, end slash n, which means new line will get. Flash and file we'll talk about later. So let's talk about this. Okay, separation. Okay, you can use this, you can use this also, you can use this fine. Okay, so end should be, if you keep end slash n, it will print a new value. Okay, in next line, I'm sorry. So whenever you mention like this, it will take other line. Okay, so end if you keep like this, let's see, let's try to do this. Okay, so this file and flash we'll see in advanced Python. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. Okay, So separation you have seen, right? Separation already we have discussed. Separation we have done. You can use separation like this quoted, this quoted, this quoted. Fine. Separation completed. Okay. And now we'll talk about end. Okay. End, what we have to keep, end equal to slash n. If you mention like this, so immediately the next value should be print in other line. Okay. For example, something you mentioned in this line, if you keep in end slash n, so then immediately next one line will be printed in here, like that. That is the purpose of it. Got it? So here if you read clearly understand, we call backslash is escape character or escape sequences. Okay, backslash n is for new line. Okay, this is default. Okay, so if you want to change, you can keep, you keep try likewise. Let next slide we'll see. Okay, so this is actually default. If you want to mention end slash n, it will go for next line, right? Okay, backslash is escape character or escape sequence. We call escape character or escape sequence. So just keep in mind escape character or escape sequence. So this is default new line. You understood? Slash, if you mention slash n, this is for new line, but this is default, right? Okay. So this I'm taking same example. Okay. So first cash is this much value, remaining amount 40,000, print to take cash remaining amount so and so, and use separation customized operate separator between values. Yes. So in previous, I mean very recently, we have seen this one already. Using separator, we mentioned this, right? So in between two different words, you have seen the like this, correct? Same way, so we will use this end. Okay, okay, 1 second. We'll use this end escape characters. So let's try to take this example. Okay, I will again copy and we need to change because this is different and in program will be different. Here I just would like to copy and paste here. So yeah, this much I will keep in comment. Okay, so okay, and here hash escape character end slash n. Okay, this related we are talking. Okay, anyways, this is not this code I will change. Cash is actual 1,000, this is fine. Remaining amount also fine. Print, I just want to change this. Yes, and cash, this is not correct. C should be capital. Yes, remaining amount is fine, and using separate customer separate, that's fine. Okay, this is commented, no problem at all. So print, so we have to change this. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Now see guys, what I would like to do is, yeah, so okay, So it completely not copied. It's okay. That's fine. Values. Okay. So it's fine. And just remove this. Okay. Let's separate all these things. I think this is not correct. We have to remove and we need to keep proper inverted commas. And cash, it's not correct. It is not acceptable. And seek should be capital, right? And remaining amount would be same. Separator, I would like to keep I would like to keep separator is like this. And end, okay, so end I'll keep like this now. Okay, so I will keep like this with the long, yeah, I'll keep like this. Okay, so now it looks good. And here inverted commas is not correct, so we have to replace with good proper inverted commas is correct. And something has happened here. What is this? So that's fine. So here if you see cash 1000, remaining amount from 40,000, print to take your cash. I just would like to keep here this cash. That's fine. Okay, yours we are using here separator and end. Okay, so by default actually it is next to space. It should print next to next to space, right? So in previous, if you observe, in previous, if you see here, I for every print in this, for every print, it is again, yeah, I will take this. Yeah, in the output, for every print, you see every print to this result, this result, this result, this result. It has printed different separate outputs. Correct? For every print. Correct? So with this, let's see what result would be. Okay, you see this and try to run this. Okay, a cache remaining amount. Okay, okay, that's fine. I'll try to close this. One sec. September. Sorry. Yeah, separate. Yes, correct. Remaining amount is fine. I think this one not matching. Okay, take your cash. It's fine. What is it asking? It is asking for 71 line. Yeah, correct. That's fine. Print to take your cash. This is a string. That's fine. It will display as usual string. And cash is this one. And remaining amount, remaining amount. Okay. And just keep space. After remaining amount, it's every, see separator we are mentioning here. So the separator would be arrow. Okay, separator would be arrow. So that's what we have to do. In the sense, what it will do is the using separator in between cash and remaining, this must become right. Is it correct? So and here end value is keeping here like this. One sec, I don't want to this, and this one also. And okay, cash and remaining amount, what happened? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, now we got. See this, I forgot mentioning kappa. Comma is for separation. See this? Got it? So every separator, separate in the sense in between cash and remaining amount, this symbol will be displayed, correct? Yeah. So in between it is separated by this. And end value, so whatever you mentioned end, so after end what happened, this thank you for using service, thanks for using banking, thank you for using our banking services, this has been continued with this it. So after that I did not mention anything and this is has taken new one. By default, it is taking new line, right? But after whenever I mentioned end this symbol, after that it has been printed like this. Ended after this, after finishing this I mentioned end. So that is the reason what happened is this print has been printed here. This whatever the output, this output has been printed after this. Oh, hope you remember, right? Hope you understood clearly. By default, if you mention print, so what will happen is for every separated print is there. That is the reason by default it has been printed separate lines. But here we are specifically we are mentioning end. So what it will do is if you mention end here, so in end it is taking. Okay, this what next to whatever the print value is there, that is printing after this end value. So then after nothing is there, right? After this nothing is there, then again it is printed separately, correct? That's how. Okay, next I just would like to keep everything in. Okay, so nothing will get. Okay, sorry. Okay, so next see this. So slash t is for t for, what is meaning of it? T means tab. So basically tab in the sense, so one standard 5 lines will be there. For every tab there will be some uniform spaces will be there, correct? So default tab will be there. If you mention, if you click on tab, default it is taken. So if you want to change you can keep, so like this end tab like this. So I will try to use this. Let me paste here. Okay, paste here. So I just would like need to change because this is not right. Okay, cache is also wrong, so no problem at all. Okay, you need to understand clearly. See, this inverted commas are not correct, and I have done some mistakes, spelling mistakes, and also not separated by comma. And this I just would like to keep here, and inverted commas some are not correct. So I just would like to keep at the rate and end. You should one sec. Should be proper. Okay. So I want to mention like this. Okay. And so this is already we have seen, correct? So this is for, so this string is not correct, inverted commas, this is fine, and this is also not correct. Okay, let me change this. Okay, so here also inverted commas are wrong. Okay, fine, it's looking good. So this will print what it will print, cash value, remaining value is there. So cash 1000 and 40,000 is normally it will print, And here we have used separator using at the rate, which means cash and remain in between these two variables, it will be separated by at the rates. And earlier without using this, what will happen? So if you don't use this, so by default space will take. And here end you mention, end in the sense end of the line. So end of the line, next line continuously will print using this symbol. So whenever you mention this, it will print continuous with along with this print. But so default, so it will take next line. Okay. And here end, what happened in this, it will take, that's fine. So what here end, we have used tab. So by default we have used tab. Okay. So print, thank you Lokesh for good teaching. So let's run this and try to explain after this. See this, can you observe this guys? This is normal, this is normal. Okay. So whenever you print this, take your cash and remaining, whenever you print default value, okay, default value has been printed like this, that's fine. But here is the change, print take your cash remaining cash, and we have separated by at the rates. That's why in every variable it has been fixed with the separator, which is at the rate. Okay. And after that end you mention like this. Okay. So end you mention this symbol. So then thank you so much, thank you for using banking service, it has taken. And after that this value will be print. But so generally if you don't use tab, what will happen is it will print in next line. Okay, this one I am talking about. Okay. So in end, whatever you mention end, that end it should print. Okay. So what happened after finishing this, the some tab, some uniform spaces has been taken. Okay. With the tab it has printed thank you Lokesh for good teaching. It has printed. For example, if you remove this, okay, I will remove this and I'll try to print. See this, it has printed thank you Lokesh for good teaching in next line. But if you mention here again tab, see this, it has been taken one tab after this, so it has taken one print, so one tab. So this is about separator. Okay. So escape characters we have mentioned, we have seen, right? So these are all escape characters. These escape character, using escape characters we have seen the output. All right. So yeah, we will discuss about flush and file. So next coming advanced concept in Python. Okay. So yeah, until then just keep in mind. Okay. So and here how to print without new line. This is interview question. How to print without new line. Okay, what is answer? Change end value space. So this will be answer. We are just replacing default value. Next line, right? We are changing it. Generally, if you don't mention, what will happen? It will take in next line. But using separator, we are mentioning, we are removing a space. Okay. So if you, without new line, if you don't want to get new line, so we have to mention separator and this separate tab. Sorry. First, what is this? How to print without new line? Okay. Without new line, it is telling without new line in the sense continuously you should get to by using spaces means. So this is default only, right? This is default using space, correct? And we are just replacing default value with the slash n means new line will print. Okay. And if you want to use any symbol like this, it will print along with this symbol. If you want to separate it with this symbol, you can mention with the separation scp. equal to so and so, this one. For example, if you want to mention end value, for example, end equal to um, like this. Okay, so you can mention end equal to something like this. Okay, so example like this, print end, so you can get it. Hope you understood. Do practice. Okay, other simple program here, if you see one simple program, I will take from here. I'm pressing control slash. It will be commented at a time. Okay, no need to comment each and every line. Okay, so even if you keep 100 spaces also, it will take only one. So it will be taken with the this at the rates only. Okay, end I'm mentioning like this, that's fine, but there is something little change like this you need to mention. Okay, so that's fine, and this is also wrong. I just would like to keep here. Like this I want to keep, and this is also wrong. Print okay, I mentioned tab, sorry. Okay, all right, so this string value not correct. Okay, okay, I'm just praising myself, don't mind. Okay, just using for statements. Okay, I just would like to print here. So if you see here, so let me clear this. What is this? Okay, so now it's working. See guys, once if you see this, earlier we used to get output, right? So now what you observe, this cache I mentioned here input. Okay, so in input concept theory, I told you input value. What input will do? Input will give you will wait for user response. Okay, whatever the user will give the data, that data, based on that data, it will give the output. That is the purpose of input. Okay, so it is waiting, see this, it is waiting for the input. For example, I will give 2500. See this, take your cash 2500. Okay, something like this. Thank you for using ATM service. Thanks Lokesh for teaching. Remaining everything is common, but extra is input. I mentioned in cash, instead of earlier I used to mention here directly value, amount, how much earlier it was like 4,000 or 2,000 or 1,000, whatever I used to mention like this. But so in input concept, if you mention like this, see, so what is happening? Whatever you are giving, so try to understand guys, cash equal to input I have given. So what input will do is, input will try to, so whatever response will get from user, okay, that response it will store in cache, which is variable, okay, which is variable. Always it will prefer this input, always try to wait for user response, okay. This input will store users input values. Input always look for users response, users inputs, okay. Yeah, that's all, right? Next we'll see other example. See this same result we got, right? For example, if I give 2,000 rupees, sorry, I need to run this. Yeah, this is the symbol of input. It is waiting for 2,000. Yeah, take your cash 2,000, something like this, right? Okay, thanks for using ATM service. Thanks Lokesh. This is all are common. Only extra we got is input topic here, okay. So let me take other example here. See, let me keep a comment here, or I will keep like this as usual. Okay, just allow me 1 second. I just would like to change all these things. Okay, okay, okay. Printer C must be capital. Take cash. I think it is wrong. See, guys, this is also important. What I'm trying to do. Always, why it is error getting? What kind of changes I've been doing? Okay, and so this you should observe. If you do practice itself, you will get. But so you should observe while following this class also. So let me try to change this. Okay, I'll mention like this and this is also wrong, inverted commas. So I must need to mention these many threads. Yes sir. Next here also I just need to debug. So it is wrong. Thanks for using ATM service. Okay, that's fine. And this is also wrong. Okay, so here I'll mention \t, that is for thanks Lokesh for good teaching. So this should be proper inverted commas. Okay, so here you see save. So let me try to comment this. Okay, here I would like to run the program. You see here, enter the amount in place of input. Earlier what happened, we just simply left it, we just simply left like this, okay. But input we are keeping the value, okay, some statement, okay, we are asking, so which means it is asking enter the value, okay, enter the amount, something like this. So it is asking, so it is easy to understand, okay. So input, if you whatever you mention, it will ask enter the amount, so that's why it is showing, right? So let's run this. Excuse me. So let me exit. Sorry. 1 sec. Control L is, I need to exit. Okay, exited. Control L. Okay. So now I need to enter. So I just need to run this program. So now it is asking enter the amount. how much? 2000 rupees. See this, take your cash 2000 rupees and amount, that cash remaining amount is this much, and thanks for using ATM service. This is just because of separator here like this, okay, and this just because of tab this, okay. So using all this we can run like this. You understood? If you want to, so if you want to mention, you can mention like this input, okay, right, something like this, okay. Next, so taking input from user, what is the purpose of it? Input. So your, that input is always simple, guys. Input in the sense taking a value from the user. It is always asking a user give the value. Okay, that's what input will does. What it does? It does input has taken a value from user. So how input function works? How input function works? Program execution stops until user input a value. Yes, exactly. So until user gives the value, it does not stop. So program execution stops until user inputs a value. Yes. Entered input will be converted into string at any cost. Okay. So you understand this point. You must understand this point. See this. Just focus. Entered input will be converted into string at any cost. Maybe for suppose you might have given 2000 or 10,000 or whatever, okay, 1 lakh or something, okay. If you give 1 lakh or whatever 10,000, this value, that consider input always consider this as a string. Note this point, okay. Input will think this it is a string only, okay. So enter a amount, check its type, okay. So even if it is 1000 or what, 10,000 or what, it will consider only string. So we need to, so if you want, if input should not confuse at that time, so in if not, sorry, input should not, input always should think that whatever the value even you give, even if it is string, if you give, or even if you give letters also, text also, numbers also, only input will think that is as string, right? So to avoid this confusion and issues, so we have to follow some concepts, okay. Type conversion, that we'll see later, okay. So converting a type to another type is called as type casting. So will be discussed on later. What is typecasting? Just a small discussion I'll give you. Type cast, cast in the sense, you know cast, right? In Andhra, lot of cast will be there. So for suppose mm, conversion, what is one form to other form? What is conversion? Okay, so some Hindus to Muslim or Muslim to Hindus or Hindus to Christian, something. This is happening conversion actually. This is called a conversion. Same way in the input in the Python also, to avoid the confusion. So default it will consider it as a string, but so we should not confuse that, right? So we have to convert string into int. For example, you need to mention like this, okay. So that is called as type conversion. That is called as type casting, okay. So in Python, any value taken as input, whether it is a number or string or anything, so it is always considered as a string by default. Input is always think that whatever the value you give, that will think that it is a string only, okay. Okay, so now to avoid this issue, what you need to do is, so you have to write like this: cash, this is the right cash in, enter the amount is there, correct? Enter your cash, something like this. So what you need to do is you need to do print, okay, print equal to, sorry, print type of cash is something like this. Here, okay, type cash. See this input. So this is actually input. It will ask the input value. So print type of cache is something like that we have mentioned, and we mentioned type. How type is cache. So something we mentioned, display the type input. It is for displaying the type input. So it will display what type of input it is. We are mentioning exactly cache something, but we don't know whether what kind of input it is, right? So it will display, oh, type equal to the type of cache is actually integer. Either it is integer, it will show integer. Either it is string, it will show as a string. Okay, that's how, right? So remaining amount as usual 40,000. Okay, print to take your cash remaining or something, etc., etc. This is a common. And print thank you for using ATM and so and so, this is common. And print thank you something like this. Okay, that's fine. So let's discuss, let's see here. See, yeah, one sec. What is line number 97? Oh yeah. Okay, so it is asking total type of amount. Sorry, enter the amount. Enter the amount. Okay, how much? 5,000 for suppose. Enter. So cash type, what type of I mentioned? Type is 5,000 I mentioned, right? So class it has taken string. You understood? Cache, what it it is thinking? It is thinking that, oh, it is thinking that it is a string value. But is that string value? No. I mentioned 5,000 is integer, right? So but it is thinking that it is string value. Correct? So to avoid this issue, we have a concept called as typecasting, right? That typecasting we will apply. Okay. Yeah. So this typecast actually whatever the type is actually wrong. So whatever we got, this cache is in. So okay, that's fine. If for example, if I mention like this, enter your amount in the sense if I use 100, if I use like this for suppose, so that is string it has given is correct, fine. But even though if I mention amount digits also, so 5,000 or 6,000 like this, still it is showing string. So this is actually it is actually confused. Input is always try to accept string only. So that will think whatever the input values you given, but always input thinks that it is a string value. So to avoid this, we have a typecasting. Okay. So how we have to change that? Hmm? So using this example, we can change, right? So cache. That's fine. Cash value is int. So you are specifically mentioning int, integer type, right? So whenever you mention like this, so then you will get a proper. You will not confuse, right? So 1 second. One second, please. Okay. So yeah, yeah. 1 second. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, you see here cash input you mentioned something. So this will be displayed in output. Okay. So you mentioned like this, and after that, so cash value you are specifically mentioning cash value. Okay, into cash you are converting here. Cash value you have given separate variable. In this you specifically mention integer type, and inside the integer type you are mentioning the cash. Then it will be converted, right? Converting as int, right? Print cash type of cache is, so here you are printing, this is actually string value, it will print as usual. Okay, then type, what it will be, the what it will get, whatever the result is there, that will be printed here. Type of cache is like this, whatever the cache value is taking, that value will be displayed in this output. Okay, so remaining amount would be something. Okay, and print take cash remaining something something something, this will be as usual common. And next print thank you for using ATM and so like something like this. Okay, so let's try to use this. So this result should get, okay, integer. Okay, so let us do that. Okay, next okay, so cash input we are mentioning something like this, enter your cash something, that's fine. And cash value, this is new integer, sorry, new variable, this is new variable. I'm mentioning int. Okay, int, int inside the int what we are mentioning cash, we are keeping this here. And print type of cash is type, and cash value in the sense this will be. Okay, and remaining amount is as usual. And print take your cash, next cash will be displayed, remaining amount will be displayed with the separator like this, and also end will be print this will be print in end. Okay, so lastly the space will take and it will print like this. Okay, so nothing changed only except this. So type, we'll see the type. Okay, so let me try to run this. Cache type, for example, enter your cache, just type here 8,000 for suppose you mention here. What type of cache it is? It is integer. Earlier what it was taken as a string, whatever you give, even if you give string it will consider string. Even if you give 5,000 also integer value also, it is considering as a string only. but we have converted here like this. Cash value, in this variable we mentioned we are converting into integer this string value. Okay, so what happened, you got type of cash is integer because we have given 8000, but earlier if I give 6000, what happened, we got string only. Because always you think that input is always consider it as a string value, so that's the reason you just keep in mind, don't depend on that. You must use type converters whenever you want to change. Okay, something like this, right? So you got this right, class integer, yeah, this is what. So let me update this like this. Okay, okay, so output value must be in int because using typecasting we converted from string to int. That's what I explained, right? Next program. Okay, so if you see here, so here what we are doing, I hope you can see this, I'm not sure. Okay, I hope you can see now. Yeah, this is much better. Okay, fine. So here cache you mentioned, right? So input, it will in input, so it will ask, so while asking input from the user, so it will display enter your cache. Yes, 100% correct. Yes, next to cache variable you mentioned like this, using integer you are converting, that's fine. And here print, you are printing a type, if you want you can print a type or else you just leave it. Next, ATM amount is 50,000. Okay, and the remaining amount would be, it should minus, because already you are giving some value, right? Total must be 50,000. From 50,000 if you give, if you remove 5,000, what it will be, the answer would be 45,000, correct? So that based on input value only. For example, I'm trying to type of 5,000, the total ATM amount would be 50,000. Okay, so 50,000 minus 5,000 total is 45,000. The answer would be 45,000. So which means remaining amount, total ATM amount minus cash value. Okay, so the answer would be like this, correct? So print to take your cash value is something, this much you mentioned, whatever you gave 5,000, remaining amount would be, it will display. Okay, so remaining amount would be display here after minusing total value to input value. So this one will be, and print thank you for using ATM services, and thanks for location, all these things will get. So let's see. Okay, let's I will take this program. Okay, okay, paste here. Okay, so here I will show you one by one. So I will exit from here. Yes, so here if you see, one sec, if you see here, cache is input it will take using this cache, this variable is cache, using this cache variable input will take, this is one point. Next to cache value we are converting here integer, this cache always will be input, always consider as a string value, that is the reason we are converting here into, that's fine. And next we are here, this is type, we actually commented already, we have seen that, that's why I commented. keep it like this. And ATM amount, total ATM amount is 50,000 in your bank. Okay, ATM amount in your bank is 50,000. So input you might given something, right, value. That value minus total amount ATM value minus your input value should be remaining amount, right? Next, print to take your cash. Cash value is this much. Total that will be displayed, and remaining amount should be displayed after minusing, and separate. It will be separated with these two values, and also end will be keep with the after end. It will be displayed like this. So end it will be after this it will print, and after end this will be print with this tab, in the sense one uniform spaces will be displayed. That's all, it's very simple. Okay, let me try to run this. See, amount cash value 5,000. See here, take your cash 5,000, you will get 5,000, and after total amount is 50,000, right? 50,000 minus 5,000, total 45,000 you have in your bank. Okay, so thank you for using ATM. Thank you. And AWS, thank you AWS DevOps Lokesh Tech for great teaching something like this. You understood? Okay, this is how it works. Input value. So you have to write input is like this. That is the purpose of this this discussion. Okay, you have to write input is like this. Okay, all right. Go for next. So let me try to update this. I will keep here 5,000. Okay, print. Okay, fine. Thank you. See here, in Python 2, you might have seen raw underscore input. So might other in 2009 batch people, 13 batch people, and earlier before 3 version. So in Python 2 version, you might have seen raw underscore input. Okay, this is no longer yet. It has been deprecated. Deprecated in the sense that version has been expired. Okay, okay, it has been deprecated, which means expired. Okay, so don't be confused, it is a part of Python 2. Okay, it has been deprecated. Now we are using Python 3. We don't use raw input in Python 3, since Python 3, since we've been using Python 3, so we don't see anything raw related input. Okay, note, at a time we can take two inputs, right? So point this, at a time we can take two inputs. Example, pin number and amount. Correct? So how to enter two inputs? Pin number, after that amount. Okay. So for this we'll see next, which is called multiple inputs from user. Okay. Take both input number, so pin number and amount at a time using split we can do. It is a method. Using split, this method, split method, we can do that. Whenever you use a split method, it will be go for you can able to enter two inputs at a time, multiple inputs at a time. Okay, see here, if you can see here, see this, see here, pin cache. Okay, so taking input pin and cache expecting as a separator. Okay, pin comma cache equal to input, enter your pin and cache. Okay, so print pin cache or pin cache, both displaying entered values, whatever it will be you entered that will be displayed. Okay, next, So this is two inputs we are taking. Okay, two different inputs we are taking and keeping in this. Okay, so next amount is, these are all common. ATM amount will be there, remaining amount will be there. It will be print cash value, remaining amount, and this will be separator with at the rate with the result, and end should be this much the symbols, and it will print like this, and end should be tab, and after that it will be displayed, right? So let's try to execute this program. Okay, I'll copy. Okay, so let me keep this in one sec. Yeah, I'm going to keep this as comment. In here I just would like to paste here. See this program demonstrate input and output, right? Taking input for pin and cache expecting as a separator. Okay, so we are mentioning pin and cache at a time. Input, enter your pin and cache, this will be displayed. Okay, so and also we have mentioned dot split at the rate. Got it? So just closely observe. Okay, so this is actually, it will be displayed. This is string, don't worry about it. Something input we mentioned like this. Okay, I don't want to mention, I don't want to confuse you. I will remove this. Okay, okay. So enter your cache, it will be displayed like this. Okay, and it will be splitted with the separator. Okay, so next print. So it is printing what are the values, which is pin number and is cache also. Both will be displayed here. Okay, and after that cache, it is converting int as from string to int here, and amount will be there, and remaining amount will be there, and print it will be same as usual, right? Next I'll try to run this. Okay, let me try to exit first. Control L. So let me run again. So here you just mentioning enter your pin and cache using this separator. Enter your pin. Pin is 1234 at the rate. What will be the cache? Cache amount would be 8000. See this? Your pin and cache are, this is a pin value and this is cache, right? Take your cache 8000 and remaining amount is total 42,000. Thank you for using ATM. Thank you. One second guys, this changed. It has taken. Okay, yes, cash will be 10,000. Okay, cash, so pin is 6565. Okay, the total cost I'm going to take 10,000 withdraw. Okay, one sec. Why? Yes, this is good actually. See here, why we got this error? Why we got this error? Input value we have to use while you are giving pin and cache. While you are entering pin and cache, you must use at the rate for separator. You understood? So then only it will take, otherwise no. So let me try to give again. Again you try to run pin number 6565 at the rate, the total cache I'm going to take 11,000. See here, take your cache 11,000, 39,000 is there still. Thank you for using ATM. Thank you Lokesh Tech for teaching, great teaching. So this is what, this is how the ATM is works, right? So I will also take this. Okay, I will mention total here. AWS DevOps Lokesh Tech. Okay, you see, cash 10,000. Oh, sorry. That's what. That's what. If you do multiple, you just it will store in your subconscious mind. Okay. Again, run it. Okay. What is your pin? 4545. At the rate 10,000. Right. Okay. All right. That's fine. Next. Next. Okay. So taking multiple inputs using list. So we'll discuss this also later. So I don't want to confuse. So in advanced concept, we'll learn about this also whenever we get a right time. Okay. So we'll be discussed later. Okay. All right. So till now we have discussed about ATM input, pin number also, amount also we mentioned, output, take your cash, thank you. We have used all these things. So we have executed ATM program. Okay. I hope you enjoyed ATM program. Same way, try to do more practice. So definitely, so you will get best practice. You will get more knowledge if you use multiple programs. If you try to do consistency, if you maintain some consistency every day, if you maintain continuously, so then you will be more perfect. Okay. So this might have um, so by this class you might have learned a lot of things. So very deeply in the in small what kind of, so in very general language, in general English, I explained everything about ATM programs using input and output. So you might have enjoyed everything, every step. So do practice continuously. So do follow, subscribe, share and subscribe my channel. So if you have any doubts, please kindly comment, or if you want to appreciate, please do comment. So thank you, and yeah, congratulations, you have done almost, you entered into the program. Okay, successfully completed ATM program. Okay, so next, interview questions and answers about input and output and also scope. Okay, so let's see one by one. Okay, so about scope, about input, and about output. Related to these topics, we are going to discuss about interview questions. Okay, so first question is, what is scope? Okay, scope in Python refers to the region of program where a variable is accessible. It determines where a variable can be used and where it cannot, right? So a variable scope is specified the region where we cannot access and we can access. Okay, we have discussed in the previous class about scope, about global global scope, local scope, and also non-local scope, right? So this is what example we have seen earlier, correct? So built-in space, built-in scope, global scope, enclosing, which means non-local sometimes we can call. So this is local scope. Okay, so whatever it is there, this is actually global. Okay, this is, you can consider it as, you know, enclosing, and or local. This is actually local. Okay, this is actually local. This is local scope. This is enclosing scope. So which means we are defining something in the function, outer function. Okay, so this is completely out, this highly start point. Okay, this is global enclose local scope, which means like this: local enclose global and built-in space. Okay, built-in scope completely out, right? So what are the types of scope in Python? We have seen already, just now we discussed, right? Local enclosing global built LEBG. Okay, this is what we discussed. What is local scope? A variable declared inside a function is local to the function and cannot be accessed outside of it. Okay, outside of it, inside only, in the scope, inside, in global inside, enclosure inside. Okay, so variable declared inside the function only, that is local. This is actual technical abbreviation. Inside local function, inside a function only you can be accessed, that is actually local scope. What is enclosing scope? A function is nested inside another function. Nested, I gave example related to one file. So one file is there, under this file you might have other file, and under this file you have other file, you have other file. So these child files are called nested. Okay, this is a main file, under this main file other files will be a folder inside the folder, file inside the file, folder inside the folder. These inside folder inside a folder called nested in general. Okay, so in enclosing scope, a function is nested inside another function inside the function. Okay, the inner function can access the enclosing the function variable, right? So this is what. Okay, next, what is a global scope? A variable declared outside by the any function. For example, this is local function which is declared by function so and so greet and close to greet. Okay, so this is actually local function. Outside, if you mention a variable, if you mention x equal to 10, no. So this is actually global. Okay, accessed outside the function, that is called as local. Inside the function, that is local. Okay. So how can you modify a global variable inside a function? Using global keyword inside the function, modify a global variable. Okay, using global keyword. If you mention using global keyword, global, after that you need to mention keyword. This is a global is a keyword. Global X. If you mention like this, for example, one function is there, greet. Okay, your statement is there, x equal to 10, no, print x. Okay, and greet, you closed it, right? And outside y equal to 10 is there. Okay, so now, so I just want to keep something should be printed inside that y also. So print y. So the actually print y. How should I print this y? So this is in local space, local scope, correct? So then when I have to uh, print, in the sense I can print, if I mention global y, then you will get print like this. If you mention global keyword inside the local function, you can able to print. Yes. So this is what the meaning. use the global keyword inside the function to modify global variable. That's what, right? Next, what is built-in space? Built-in scope includes predefining a function and keys like print, len, sum, okay, length, sum, when, which are always available. So this is just remind. Built-in scope includes predefined functions and keywords like print, len, length, sum. Okay, this. Next, so what is the LEGB? This is already we have discussed. Okay, local enclosing, global enclosing. Okay, sorry, local scope, enclosing scope, global scope, built-in scope, all these things. What happens if a variable name exists in multiple scopes? Python follows LEGB rule and uses the first matching variable it finds starting from local to built-in. Okay, what happens if a variable name exists in the multiple scopes? Okay, Python follows the LEGB rule and uses the first matching variable. First matching variable. It will use the first matching variable. It finds starting from local to built-in. That's what. So how do you access an enclosing variable in a nested function? Use the non-local keyword to modify and enclosing the functions variable inside the nested function. This is what it is very important, guys. Already in previous we have seen this example. Using non-local keyword, okay, non-local keyword, we have used, we have printed global nested. Okay, in nested, using non-local keyword we have printed, right? Using non-local keyword to modify and enclosing the function variable inside the nested function. Okay, inside the nested function. Okay, so using non-local keyword we can use print, we can print. Okay, we can able to access using non-local keyword to modify and enclosing the function, right? So example, if you want, I will show in global. Okay, I will show it later. Already in scopes we discussed, right? If you want, I will show. In scopes, I have shown you. Yeah, see this non-local, guys. This is what I explained. Now, see this using non-local keyword. Using non-local keyword. So we have specified. Using non-local keyword, we have printed. So this is nested function. This is actually outer, which means this is actually global. Okay, and you mentioned one variable is local. Okay, so in nested function, this is actually, see this nested function. We mentioned a nested function, uh, inner. Okay, this is local. Okay, inside this we mentioned non-local keyword. This is important, non-local keyword. After that we changed local as non-local. Okay, so message is non-local, it is printing non-local only. So after that it printer value outer. So outer also will print non-local because it has converted into non-local in the nested. Check. Okay, all right. Next, right? Okay, let's discuss about input and output interview questions. Okay, so what is the difference between input and print in the Python? Okay, input is used to take user input and print is used to display the output on the console. This is what the answer. How does input function work in Python? Okay, input reads user input as a string. By default, it requires type conversion in the numerical input. If you want numerical input, you need to mention type conversion. By default, whatever the value you give, even if you give string input or numerical input, it doesn't matter, but it will consider it as a string only. This is important question. How can you take integer input from the user? How can you take integer input from the user? Like this, age, int, input, enter your age. It is in int we are actually mentioning age equal to int, input value is enter your age, whatever age is 20 for suppose. So it is taking it as a age is 20. So it will ask, right, whenever you execute this program at the time, so what it does, it will display like this, enter your age. So you might enter 25 something. Okay, this 25 will be integer, right? Okay, then your age equal to 25, you will get like this, something like this. Okay, how can you print multiple values in the Python? Multiple values in the Python, we have discussed about this. Age s equal to something, age something like this, we have discussed, right? So use print with multiple arguments separated by commas. Yes, exactly. So like this, hello comma Python comma 2024. If you observe here, the string you are mentioning inverted commas, string you are mentioning inverted commas, but numbers not required. Okay, so you can mention 2025. This is old one. Okay, all right. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Next, what is the default separated in print? Default separator in print is actually space, which will not display to us. Okay, default space will be taken, but if you want to mention, you can use separator equal to, if you want to mention at the rate, yeah, it will be displayed with this symbol. You got it? Right. So yeah, this will be like this, print hello Python separator something mentioned. So in between these two, it will be separated with the hyphen like this. Okay, so how can you print output without a new line? This is also important. How can you print without new line? Use end. New line, without new line, how could you print? In the sense, using end. End equal to something so and so, this symbol, with this you can able to print. Okay, by default it will be print. For example, print two times. If you print welcome, print location, if you keep like this, it will print in different lines, right? But if you mention with the end, so what will happen, end with the so and so symbol, then it will be continued, next line this location will be continued. Okay, that's how. Next, something like this, you understood this example, print hello and something you mentioned, then hello world. These two different prints uh, got in one line. So like this. So how can you take multiple inputs in a single line? Okay, using multiple inputs in single line, split with the input like this, x comma y. You have taken two different variables, two different inputs, x comma y, input you mentioned so and so statement, and using dot split. Okay, so you can use like this. So in ATM example we have mentioned, right? Enter pin and cash. These two, with these two enter, we used to mention like this at the rate something 10,000. Okay, like this. Two multiple inputs. We are using multiple inputs. So for that you have to mention split, right? Like that. Next, how do you format output in Python? Use f strings format or percentage formatting. We didn't discuss, we'll discuss later. Okay, but you can understand this question. How do you format output in Python? Use f strings. Okay, name is Alice, print f hello and name. Okay, so this we didn't discuss, but okay, it's okay. I mentioned here, it's fine. Okay, so what is the use of sys dot st dot write something? It prints output without a automatic new line, unlike point. Like this, import says sys dot st dot write hello. We can write like this. How do you read multiple lines in a lines of Python? Use loop with the input sys dot stdin dot read using this. So we'll discuss about this, don't worry. So we completed successfully, right? Successfully completed all interview questions also. Thank you so much. Okay. Next class we are going to discuss about operators. So as always appreciate it will give more boosting. So kindly subscribe, share. Very simple language in our terminology. We are discussing Python classes. Okay, kindly support me. Okay, so please share and subscribe my channel, and also give the comments if you while you are watching. If you get any doubts, please kindly comment here, so I will connect with you. Okay, thank you so much. So this is all about scope. This is all about input and output and interview questions, input and output and the scope. So next topic will be operators. Okay, session 7 we are going to discuss about operators. Okay, okay, thank you so much. Until then, take care. Bye bye.